You're listening to Catholic Chicago on WNDZ 750 AM. During the next hour, the Archdiocese of Chicago brings you programs about the people, events, and issues that touch our lives. Welcome to Catholic Chicago.
Asking me lovingly to come and follow you. Here I am. Did I hear you call my name? Here I am, as you wish.
Good morning. This is Sister Lovina Francis Pammit. I'm a Franciscan Sister of the Sacred Heart. You are listening to Dare to Love. Dare to Love is a program that cultivates vocation awareness in the Archdiocese of Chicago through discussion of topics related to vocation discernment, promotion, and also to spotlight the charisms of various religious communities. And today I have two guests, Sister Connie Bach, poor handmaid of Jesus Christ, and Kathy Brady Murphin, who represents the and is the coordinator of vocation ministry for the Sisters Servants of the Holy Heart of Mary. Good morning, Kathy and Connie.
Good morning. Good morning.
And I am very pleased to give you a lot of materials for today because I had originally planned to have another brother because May 1st was the special day for Religious Brothers Day, but at the same time, we had the Alexian Brothers celebrate with us last month, and I wanted to continue that trend, but we won't have another brother. We're expecting a Viatorian as a guest for next month, which is June. So for now, we have special guests, Kathy and Connie. And for now, I think we're going to start with Sister Connie Bach, who is actually, I think, when was the last time that I had you as a guest, Connie? Was it 2 years ago already, maybe? Or a year ago?
Probably because of COVID. I don't think I did one.
Yeah, so it's been a while. And Sister Connie, many people may not recognize, especially if this is your first time listening to Dare to Love. But I've had you as a guest twice already, and I think, are we going on 2 years, at least 2.5 years with this show? And one time, do you remember you also played for us your guitar and sang for us, right?
Yes, I did.
Yes, and Sister Connie actually, and I don't know if you still do it because you're so busy with your volunteer program in your vocation ministry, but you also taught music or music therapy, right?
Yes, I was a music therapist for 10 years.
Yeah. So why don't you go ahead and why don't you tell us more about yourself, about your community, the charism, and then in connection with your food ministry then?
Okay, yes. So it's great to be here. Thank you for having me. I'm a poor handmaid of Jesus Christ. We started in Germany in 1851, and we now serve in 9 countries. And I've been a sister for 29 years. And the Poor Handmaids of Jesus Christ really try to listen prayerfully, live simply, and serve joyfully as we love and care for others and our earth. And the way that this connects to volunteering, because I also direct our volunteer program, is that a big part of vocation ministry is helping women and men discern a life of service, whether that's as a single person, as a married person, or as a sister, brother, priest, deacon, and so on. So we through discernment, we have the opportunity to come up close and personal to accompany people on their journey. And, it's interesting. It's been 2,300 years since Aristotle first asked the question, what the essence of life is. And his statement was always to serve others. And
That's right.
in our own lifetime, Gandhi was another person who said the best way to find yourself is to love yourself. Is to lose yourself in the service of others. And so religious
Sounds
life,
so Christian, way back with
yes,
Jesus.
and religious life and volunteering are both relational. They're built on inclusion, and it gives us the opportunity to encounter others and to be the hands and feet and voice of Christ. So that's the strong connection that I see between religious life and volunteering. And if you take a week or a month or even a year to volunteer with a congregation, you get to see them, in their daily routines, their life together, how they interact with each other, how they rub elbows, because we are human beings and we are not perfect. And so you get to see how we manage conflict resolution, how our prayer life is, what our ministries are, how we interact with people in the world. So I find that just to be a great entryway in volunteering is an opportunity then to really get to know a community and to find out if it's a fit for you, and to really discern well with them in order to make a decision that will, bring your life meaning and happiness. That's, after all, what God wants of our lives is to make it purposeful and meaningful, and also to be happy. So,
Oh, Sister Connie, that just so beautiful. And you mentioned men as well. So really, this is not as if you're just simply recruiting for new membership. What it is you're really doing a service, and this ministry is really for the whole community, for the church.
that's correct. That's right. And so we've really had to pivot during this COVID year, since we couldn't bring volunteers in like we normally would. And so we've had to do that in a couple different ways. So I discovered, trying to serve the people right around us is all God asks of us. And so we found that a local community near us, Plymouth, Indiana, had several deplorable trailer courts that people were living in during the winter. And then we also found out by our helping with the census, and they call it a point in time count, where they count the homeless in communities. I found that there were lots of homeless people also living in hotels. And so we started a food ministry back in January, and we've been taking food, blankets, diapers, clothing, boots, hygiene products, any basic needs that we feel people have twice a week. And we've been doing that for about 60 families twice, on those 2 days, Tuesdays and Thursdays. And it's been a wonderful way to impact people's lives. But it also, it's a mutual sharing, because we are impacted just as much by getting to know these wonderful people and hearing their stories, and again, being the hands and feet of Christ. I think that's just so profound, and that gives meaning and purpose to our life, but it also has a profound impact on them. And many of them have said that they probably wouldn't be here today, without the help. That it's only 2 days a week, but we give them enough to get through until they can, get to a bigger food pantry, or until they can find a job, or until they can find a place to live, and so on.
Mm-hmm. And it's probably not just, of course, that's very important, but I think just being there, your actual encounter with people, and not just writing a check, not that that's bad. I mean, of course, it helps. But I seem to recall one of the stories from our Cardinal Supich, saying, a relief, I think it was in Puerto Rico, where somebody wrote a check. Well, the check wasn't even cash. It's like, well, is something wrong? And they were saying, well, money doesn't help us now. It's actual relief, food, and all the stuff. But now it's not only just the food, but your actual presence and providing that dignity, that relational aspect of it. That is also food for their soul, and that's what's
right.
beautiful about your ministry. So the food is not just like food or essential things, but really the food coming out of your love.
Yes. Yes, and the wonderful thing about it also is that it has allowed our community to collaborate with the larger organizations and churches and so on in the local community. And so we have support from other faith communities and we live in Marshall County, so the Marshall County Foundation. I sit on a round table with health workers and the mayor's office and social service organizations in the community, other food pantries, and so on. And so we have wonderful conversations about how best to serve them. And in fact, as we're delivering, because at the hotels we go door to door, and at the trailers we go trailer to trailer. So we pass out flyers that has where to get COVID shots and how to register. We pass out flyers on where other services are in the city, such as clinics, free clinics, and libraries where they have special workshops and how to fill out applications and write resumes and so on. We passed out flyers for the Head Start program, which is a free preschool program. They actually come and pick up their children and bring them home and give them a meal, while they're at school. So we've really been able to collaborate with other organizations as well, which extends our hands even further.
That's wonderful. So if anybody wants to help out and get involved, how would they contact you? Because you're doing everything. I have to admit, like hearing all that, I'm like, whoa, when does she sleep? and also, I have to remind myself, sometimes like, I'm coordinator of Kava and you're one of the board members. Sometimes I forget that, you're being a major part of Kava. It's like, Connie also is needed elsewhere, and she also has her community, and balancing all that. But for now, like, can you give us your contact information?
Yes. So our Poor Handmaid website is just all one word, poorhandmaids.org, and maids is MAIDS, poorhandmaids.org. Our volunteer program website is PHJC, V as in Victor, VOL, so that's PHJC program.org.
Great, that's wonderful. And then if people want to discern with you, especially women who might be attracted to your charism, they would contact you, and can they also email you, Connie?
Yes. Mm-hmm. My email is CBACH, so CBach at poorhandmaids.org.
Okay, Bach like the musician, right? So
yes.
CBach at poorhandmaids.org. Great.
Bach. Mm-hmm.
So, Connie, thank you so much for sharing this, and I hope to, because you're going to be continuing this, and with more involvement, we probably would need to let people know that they can get involved, definitely, and not just in that area. If would there be a place for people, especially after people get vaccinated, maybe start up your volunteer?
We do have other volunteer sites.
Okay.
We have a women and children's shelter in Gary.
Okay.
We have about 6 different ministries at our mother house, including Care for the Earth, with our greenhouses and so on.
So we'll have them contact you, and on the video podcast, that information will be there as well. So why don't we go into a short break, and then on the second part of the show, we will talk to Kathy. Don't go away.
I come to follow you.
I've traveled long and far to follow you, a stranger and a pilgrim in this world. Sometimes I wonder what
Mothers are often the unsung heroes in a family. Right now, many mothers are also the disproportionate victims of the COVID-19 pandemic. They've experienced higher rates of infection and more job losses. They've had to navigate their children learning remotely while caring for older relatives and struggling to put food on the table. What better way to honor the mothers in our lives, those living and deceased, than with a contribution in your mother's name to Catholic Charities' 2021 Mother's Day Appeal? Our mothers were the first to teach us about compassion and community. They were the first to show us what love and caring for someone else is all about. Help us help local moms and children who are struggling this year. Please give generously at CatholicCharities.net.
Hey, it's Timothy Johnston here from Liturgy Training Publications. Over the past few months, I'm sure you've found yourself at home more, whether it's working from home or watching live stream masses on Sunday mornings. As we began adjusting to this at the beginning of the pandemic, one of the things I missed the most was gathering with friends at the parish. That's why we at LTP have created this new virtual gathering series called Living the Sunday Word. We meet virtually on Thursday evenings each week and reflect on the upcoming Sunday readings. And with that, we share stories to help us more fully reflect on the Word of God. I'm inviting each of you to join us, a group of friends meeting virtually from all parts of the country. So visit ltp.org for more information and to register. You won't want to miss this.
Caring adults make all the difference in the lives of adolescents. Catholic Charities understands this, and our mentorship program provides a free opportunity for youth living in Lake County to spend time, virtually, with volunteers who genuinely care about them. This program is ideal for youths age 9 to 12 who may need support navigating the challenges of childhood and early adolescence. Our amazing volunteers serve as friends and role models who help youth recognize their strengths and empower them to reach their full potential. Catholic Charities conducts a thorough background check on every volunteer, and our program coordinator closely monitors and supports each relationship. Mentoring is a fun after-school program that is totally different from remote learning. Virtual group sessions help youth enjoy fun activities with their peers, too. We're connecting youth with great role models. Join us today. To learn more, call 312-937-3375. That's 312-937-3375.
Did I hear you call my name? Here I am, as you will. Speak, my God, I am ready to begin. Here I am, I come to follow you.
And we are back to Dare to Love, and with our guest, I thank Sister Connie Bach, who talked about their food ministry and other vocation ministries, and as well as volunteers, even during COVID. And now I welcome once again Mrs. Kathy Brady Murphin, coordinator of Vocation Ministry for the Sisters Servants of the Holy Heart of Mary. Hi, Kathy.
Hello, Sister Lovina.
And thank you again for saying yes to be a guest along with Sister Connie. And Kathy, as I neglected to mention this, I always say Sister Connie Bach is board member of CAVA, the Chicago Archdiocesan Vocation Association here in the Archdiocese of Chicago. Kathy is one of the CAVA members as well. And so now we're spotlighting the charism and the works, especially her ministry as Vocation Director for the Servants of the Holy Heart of Mary. So, well, first of all, before we get into all that, Kathy, why don't you give us a little bit of background on yourself?
Sure. Well, the first thing to know is that I am not a sister, nor was I ever one. I am a married woman. I've got adult children and grandchildren. I first met the Servants of the Holy Heart of Mary some 25 years ago now. At the time that I met them, I had been going through this thing where I felt called, and I really had no idea what that call was about. I had never heard of spiritual directors, had no idea that they existed, and I felt lost. And then while I was on a retreat, I found a copy of the Guide to Religious Ministries, and I mailed in an inquiry card. Sister Myra Lambert was one of many people who who responded to that. I received mail from countless congregations. But then Sister Myra Lambert called me, and we spent probably an hour on the phone. She knew that I was searching for something and invited me to the convent to meet her. She served as my spiritual director for some time. Over the years, though, I've become very embedded in the community. I have written and led retreats with the sisters and continue to do that. I serve as one of their spiritual directors. I've led the Busy Persons retreats and book groups, and I now serve as their Vocation Director.
And I think that leads very much, and it ties in so much about your own coordination of vocation ministry, and we can even expand that because I would say in the past, vocation ministry, as people would have known it, and this is a different world, different generation now. When we say vocations, we've widened that, and even young people are really seeing vocation, and not even like with careers, but really in your life. What is God calling you to be, and which is the best life for yourself, and responding to that is, as Sister Connie was saying, in terms of service, in what way? For you, how has it been, and can you tell us a little bit more of how this works? And it worked, for 25 years in your life. How is this now panning out in your own vocation ministry, and what do you enjoy most about it?
In a way, I think that as a person who's not a sister, I bring a special gift to women who inquire, because they can be open with me in a way that they don't always feel free to be. Mm-hmm. And so I get to listen to their stories. I always marvel at the journeys that these women have been on. God speaks to us in so many different ways and over our lifespan. I would have never thought the day I got married that this is where I would end up. But the vocation that we're led to is really about the life that God is leading us to, where we can best be ministers. And so I think that God is using that gift of my married life within my vocation ministry. Mm-hmm. Discernment ministry is obviously very much about helping women to find their spiritual nook, whether or not it's with us. And I'm sure you heard the same things from Sister Connie. Mm-hmm. The servants of the Holy Heart of Mary do offer a variety of routes for spiritual growth. Mm-hmm. We naturally welcome women to join us as sisters, and we would hope to have many more do that. Mm-hmm. We also, though, welcome women to be servant companions. And those are lay women who live with the sisters. They participate in all the gatherings, the celebrations, the days of recollection, really pretty much in the whole life of the sisters, except that they cannot vote in congregational matters and things like that. Mm-hmm. But it is an opportunity to really live this life for a period of time.
Mm-hmm. That's great. So, being a coordinator for vocation ministry and also helping out in general women and their growth in their spirituality, are there particular trends or needs that you're seeing or experiencing maybe?
One of the things that's hard to miss is the number of older women who are reaching out. I respond to all of them, because if they're taking the time to fill out a form, I have to believe that the Spirit is working in them. The servants of the Holy Heart of Mary accept second and third career women, which is not always the case. Mm-hmm. We accept those who are nearing early retirement. Mm-hmm. In fact, the candidate who will be joining us from California in a couple of weeks is near retirement age.
Wonderful.
Yeah. I'm especially aware of women who, like me, need yet another option. We long for deeper formation, something similar to what is offered through third orders or oblates. But as with other forms of belonging to congregations, charisms need to match. It would make no sense for me to enter into formation with Franciscans or Benedictines. The SSCM charism of faith, self-giving, and family spirit resonates with me. this is my home. It's where my heart has found a home. The servants of the Holy Heart of Mary are very much focused on the spiritual needs and the growth of women. As our sister Agnes Cunningham has written in one of her books, the charism of the spiritual family founded by Father Delaplace can be perceived as the spiritual gift of presence for us who call ourselves members of that family. It's a gift to be wherever we are, to be wherever the church calls us to be about whatever the church needs to have done in that time and in that place. As this need that I perceive, this need to welcome older women, to help them find their path, as this becomes more crystallized, I am sure that the servants of the Holy Heart of Mary will find a place for us, a path for us.
That's really beautiful, Kathy. Thank you for having that being available, and that is quite a service to the church, the community, especially the women who are looking for other options. So if people who are listening now, and hopefully we can share the podcast of this radio show and also the video podcast, and reach more women, how can they reach you? What would be the website or contact information for you, Kathy?
Well, our website, if they'd like to find out anything more about us, about our retreat houses, about our programs, about other options that we offer, our website is sscm-usa.org.
Okay, so sscm-usa.org.
Exactly.
And then can they call you or send you an email?
An email can be sent to me at sscm.vocations@gmail.com.
Great. And also for people who are listening out there, if you only want one website, all of this contact information is available at the CAVA website, which is vocationscava.org. Vocations, plural, VOCATIONSCAVA.org. And I really I'm so grateful for having you, Kathy, and Sister Connie, for being my guest today. And I just want to put out that blessing, the blessing that you are to the church and your local communities, and all others who are discerning God's call in their lives and who are wanting to respond. So God bless everyone. May peace be in our hearts, and starts with each one of us, and to be gifted and shared throughout the whole world. Amen. Thank you.
Thank you for your work as well, Lovina. It's been delightful.
Sometimes I wonder what tomorrow brings. Give me the grace to love and to be faithful, to be more like you. Here I am. Did I hear you call my name? Here I am, as you will. Speak, my God, I am ready to begin. Here I am, I come to follow you. This is what I want. This is what I seek. This is what I desire.